Hello, welcome back to the FA Championship 2027 Season 5 here in Monaco for the Monaco Grand Prix, one of the toughest tracks on the circuit and one of the famous track on any Formula 1 calendar in motorsport. It is I, King Razza the First, bringing you the commentary action of today's race, and I have to say this track is definitely going to test the limits of every single team, every single driver. This is something that qualifying does matter because it is very difficult to overtake around here, consisting of a total of 19 corners, only one DRS straight out of the final corner into turn 1, and there is going to be some tight chicanes, tight corners that you need to get right. So this is why qualifying really does matter in this series. And as we have a look at the championship standings, here it is. It's looking very tight comparing to the last few races, especially in the top 4. Claudia leading the way, Naz second place, closing down that gap, and we have Ruby in 3rd place, then Kaylin in 4th, Washer 5th, then Emily, King Razza, Josh B, Rose, Zai Shay, Maddie Lily, Fritten, Saraya, Brandon L, Terrace, Agent, DJ, and Matty. That is your championship standings, and your constructor standings is McLaren Chrome, who having a healthy lead ahead of Connor Sport in 2nd place. Then Visa Balls are Lassie Williams, Lambo Tradizone, Red Bull Shearer, McLaren Shadow, down to P7, Peugeot E-Drive, Lambo Neon, and Alpine Reyes. That is your constructor standings, but all eyes on the top 4 in the Drivers' Championship. Claudia, Naz, Ruby, Kaden, they are separated by under 5 points, so it's getting really tight between these 4 drivers, and I think there might be your 4 drivers competing for this championship. But what's going to happen here in Monaco? Qualifying does matter because where you start is possibly where you're gonna finish. So here is the grid for the Monaco Grand Prix, and it is a McLaren Chrome front row lockout. Claudia on pole, Kaylin in 2nd place, then Naz, she will start in 3rd place, and your reigning champion King Razza yet again, brilliant qualifying, start P4. Emily start in 5th place, with Ruby starting in 6th. Lenny for the Lambo Neon will start in 7th, and Washer for the Williams car starts in 8th. Zai for Peugeot E-Drive, he will start in 9th place, with Rose starting in 10th, running out the top 10. Maddie from Reasonable starts in 11th place. Josh, Season 1 champion, down in P12, got some work to do. It's not going to be easy for him, as Shay start P13 and Fritten start in 14th. Brandon Al start in 15th place for Alpine Reyes. DJ starts in 16th, and then Terrace from the Red Bull Shell starts in 17th, and Matty in 18th. And after a brilliant race last time for Saraya, she after horrible qualifying 19th, as Agent ran out the field in 20th. And that is your starting grid for today's race, and it's going to be a wet one. It's a wet start, but the rain is expected to clear away. 4 wets to start this race. What's going to happen? Because only on lap 1 you can see overtaking happening here in Monaco. Here we go. The 5 red lights are up on your screens. 4 and 5 red lights. And there's the lights out, and away we go here in Monaco. And that's a great start from Claudia, and Kaden did not have a good launch, and that's going to set it up the inside to get past Kaden. Kaden has a horrible start, and Emily got her way through as well. As we head up the hill into turn 3 we go. King Ransom lost some position as well, but here comes Naz. Maybe there might be the move into the breakers on turn 5. She tried it, can't find a way by, as Emily move her way up to P3, fighting with King Ransom as we get into the tight chicane, and King Ransom went off. He grazed the wall. Yellow flag set to do this carnage. There's a car pile up at the back. That's Zai, who got turned around, and it's all kicking off there at the back of the field. Zai has gone spun around, unfortunately for him. That's a horrible start for Peugeot E-Drive, as all the drivers tried to jug him for a position. He got himself going, as Claudia now is leading the way with Naz in 2nd. Yellow flag set to 2. Rose 5-second penalty. Something happened. Oh, there's a car pile out of the line to turn 11 into turn 10. DJ is now around, and oh no, Peugeot E-Drive have collided. They are both collided. Zai crashed into DJ and it's gone bad to us for Peugeot e-drive. Zai's out. Belgian safety car has come out, and oh dear, it's a nightmare of a start for both drivers for Peugeot e-drive racing. Oh dear, and DJ, he has front wing damage. I'm sure after this race they're going to talk about what in the hell happened there between DJ and Zai. And yeah, there's going to be a big team debrief as DJ comes into the pit. And for Zai, oh wow, his day just finished in in a couple of corners. Disappointing stuff, and I'm really surprised that was not a safety car, because how is that not a safety car? Because, well, DJ and Zai, they were both in the middle of the track in the racing line, so I don't understand how that's not a safety car and why race control called virtual safety car. But we got ourselves back racing again, and yeah, this is definitely a day for forgetful Peugeot e-drive racing, and I just have to go into the next race fully optimized and hopefully try and recover to get some more points next time out. So back to the racing action. It's Claudia leading the way with Naz in second place, Emily in third, and your boy King Raza in fourth. Then we have Kayla in fifth, and as she skips to laps later onto lap 7 out of 39, the rain has stopped. So now this is going to be a big question. When is it time to try and go for the slick compound tyres? Which team, which driver are going to make that call to go onto the slicks? Rob Ball of Ruby giving Liddy a little bit of pressure. Liddy had a great qualifying, by the way, and she's up into P6, so great stuff for Lamborghini. Yet again, the Lambo Neon side of the guys, they're having a brilliant start to this race, but it's a long way to go, and you know that things here in Monaco can get very dramatic indeed, as the DRS is now enabled. So that means it's definitely, the track is bone dry, but some drivers are still hanging out there on the wets. But I'm sure we're going to see some drivers coming in very soon, as we're watching now Kaden up the hill we go out of turn 1 into turn 2 we go, giving King Raza a little bit of pressure, let me tell you, as we head round the likes of turn 3 into turn 4, now into the big braking zone on turn 5. The fight for P4 is on between Kaden and your boy King Raza, but Kaden just can't find a move there. You can't find moves into this tight chicane, tight corner here, the carousel, as now we head out of the lights of turn 7 into turn 8, and now through the tunnel we go, and you can see the gap that King Raza built over 2 seconds between these two drivers. And yeah, King Raza can live and fight for another day. There's Claudia, a race leader, by the way, and she is still carrying on those wets. But Naz, her championship rival, has come into the pits. Visa Balls has called in Naz, and I'm sure they're going to try and go for an undercut on the Claudia. What is she going to go on? It is the soft compound tyres. So I think Naz, she is going for a 2-stop strategy as more drivers are coming in. Ruby is in, and she has a 5-second penalty, so she has to serve that 5-second penalty. That's going to not help her out at all, and she's going to lose time. But Ruby is back underway, and she's on the hard. Maddie's on hard, and Josh is on hard as well. Caitlin for the McLaren Chrome gone hard, so the McLaren Chrome gone for a different strategy compared to Visa Balls. So which strategy is going to work out, let me tell you, we have to find out, as most of the field are coming in beside your top 3 of Claudia, Emily and King Raza. Here is Shado on the soft compound tyres, trying to chase down the likes of Agent, and DJ has come into the pits now to get onto the soft. So some teams are going for a 2-stop, some teams think they could pull off a 1-stop. So let's find out which strategy is gonna work. I'm pretty sure some drivers are trying to go hard to the end or something, but that is gonna be a big art, because it's 39 laps, and I really don't know if they're going to make it, as Claudia has now gone into the pits, and Naz have got that undercut work. She's into the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix as Claudia pits for the medium compound tyres. That is very interesting. We need to see where is that going to favour her, as King Ransom just got ahead of Lily, or has he? Because Lily's going to try and fight this one up. It is fresh sauce against warming up sauce, I would say, as Lily tried to go for the move on King Ransom, but King Ransom just managed to stay ahead and managed to reclaim and keep that P5 position. That was very close for King Ransom to lose a place there, but he managed to keep his line, keep it straight, keep it tidy, and he stays in 5th place. That's a good try, by the way, from Lily. But unfortunately for her, she got some work to do to try and reclaim that position. As Shay now is going to make that move on Agent into turn 5. Down the inside he goes, and Shay got that move done for the Lambo Neon. But I see, because Agent is fighting this one back, and Shay have made contact with the wall. More contact between these two drivers, more wheel biting as we head now through the tunnel into the braking zone on turn 10 and the chicane into turn 11. Agent at the inside line, but Shay sent it round the outside, and Shay might got the move done. Maybe he has. Agent still fighting it out with him as we head now into the fast chicanes. Coming up now into the final corner, turn 18. This might be the big braking zone. Shay to the inside. Shay got the move done, and he's up into P12. Great fighting between these two drivers. There was a little bit of wheel biting, a little bit of contact, but they keep it fair and square, and Shay got his way up into P12. Great fighter from Agent. He tried to defend that really, really well, but Shay, with fresh soft compound tyres, he was just too quick for him, and he just had more grip compared to that Alpine Arias car. So we're on board with Washer now, and he's giving Lily a little bit of pressure right now. He's catching up to Lily, I must say, as we head into the fast chicane. Coming up into the first fast chicane, turn 13, 14, and now into turn 15 and 16. Now coming up into turn 18 here. Washer trying to eye his rival down, I must say, but he just can't find any pace to try and get that move done. As we skip some laps later onto lap 18 out of 39, Emily just overtake a back marker, and I think that is probably the likes of Brandon. Yeah, Brandon L, who has been lapped by Emily, Kalia, and Naz. So it's just showing that this track is very short and is very difficult to overtake. But for Emily, because she had a great getaway on lap 1 on the opening lap, she's up into P3, and she might guarantee to get 3rd place. And Kaylin, unfortunately for her, she had a horrible start off the line, and that's really going to hamper her and hamper her performance to try and get herself back into podium place. But it's not going to be easy, because yeah, it's difficult to overtake here in Monaco. As we watch now Maddie and Ruby have a little fight. Ruby's chasing Maddie down as we head into the tunnel. Both drivers on the hards, and they're probably going to be in favour with the hards, because they might be able to catch the likes of Washer and Lily when the sauce starts to degrade down. So something that we need to keep an eye on. But as we go into lap 20 out of 39, Ruby is much closer to the back of Maddie, and I would be surprised that might be a move coming into the braking zone on turn 5. Here comes Ruby. Is there a move into turn 5? No, can't find a way there. But now we're headed into the carousel section. These are really, really tight corners, tight turnings that you need to get right. And if she gets this corner right as she exits out on turn 8 into the tunnel, maybe she might have a move into the lights of chicane on 10 and 11. But unfortunately for Ruby, she's a bit too far back to make that move done. Maddie's doing great to keep that Colour Sport car at bay, and this definitely is the fight for 8th place, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, as we now head into the chicane of turn 15 and 16. Into turn 18 we go. Ruby's still trying her hardest to try and keep up with the likes on Maddie, and just showing the nature of the track how difficult it is to overtake here in Monaco. As we head into turn 1, Ruby has got the DRS. Is she using her ERS battery? No, but she's getting awfully close to the back of the Maddie. I think we might be seeing a move coming very, very quickly here as we head into turn 5. It's a move. She tried to look for the inside, but Maddie covered that one off. Now, heading into the car zone section, the tight and big turning points of the track. Now, coming out on the lights on turn 8 into the tunnel. But meanwhile, these two drivers are actually catching the soft runners of Washer and Lily. So you've got to keep an eye on their pace right now. And Kaylin in 4th place is actually getting caught by the likes of King Razzie the Third. So something that we need to watch on as well. But Naz, who has been leading this race, she's on the softs, remember, but the medium combat tires is now favouring the likes of Claudia, and Claudia is now 6/10 below, 6/10 behind the likes of Naz. So now this might be the fight for P1, but I'm seeing a back marker ahead of these two drivers, these two's rival potentially for this championship. Who is it? I don't really know. That might be Brandon L or DJ maybe, but Naz got away through, but Claudia is getting hung up by this back marker of DJ. Yes, DJ is hanging up Claudia, and what we thought that could be a race battle for P1 between Claudia and Naz, thanks to the back marker. Unfortunately, that gap just grown back up to 2 seconds between Naz and Claudia has to try and fight again as King Razza pits to go onto the mediums. We're on lap 23 out of 39, ladies and gentlemen, and what we thought that could be a great fight for P1, thanks to the back marker, Claudia has dropped down to 3 seconds behind the likes of Naz. But I'm just quite surprised how did Claudia did not find a way by. There's literally a gap that she could just go by the likes of the back marker. I don't know why she hang around at the back of DJ for that long. So yeah, I really don't know what she and McLaren Cone were thinking, because we could have got a great scrap for P1, but unfortunately it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen as Ruby get past the back marker of Brandon and Josh B as well. As now we're looking at this fight, Maddie, Ruby, they've been trying to fight it out, but now it's just bringing Josh into play. Matty just come out of the pits. He just got overtaken by the likes of Soraya. Matty on fresh sauce. And by the way, the hard runners, they have been on those hards for 14 laps. Yes, 14 laps. I really don't know if these hards are going to go to the end. They might have to come in and make another pit stop. Maybe a 2-stop might be it. Might be the right strategy call as we're watching Lily comes into the pits from the sauce and onto the mediums. Your boy King Razza now is on the medium combat tires, and he just got past the likes of Fritton. Oh dear, I think Josh, Ruby, Maddie and Kaylin might be in a little bit of trouble. King Razza the First might be in for a podium finish, let me tell you, as we're now making inroads on the likes of Josh, our season 1 rival, as we're both going side by side. There goes King Razza, get up if done. Josh is still gonna try and fight this one out, but King Razza is through, and now we're looking at the back of Ruby. What can Ruby do to keep your boy King Razza up? She can't do anything about it, because there goes King Razza through on Ruby. He's up into P6. King Razza the First, your reigning champion, is not wasting any time, as we're now seeing there is an opportunity to get a podium here in Monaco. Yes, we are not wasting any time, ladies and gentlemen. We need to get our foot to the pedal and go and get past these guys as quickly as possible. Now, next up, it is Maddie. By the way, Naz has pitted for the soft compound tires, and meanwhile, while she's doing that, King Razza with the DRS get past the likes of Maddie into turn 1. King Razza up into P5. Now he can try and chase down the likes of Naz and maybe Emily for podium position. I don't think Naz is actually in this fight. I think it's mainly Emily and Kaylin. I think those 3 drivers might be fighting it out for the last paying spot on the podium. The fight for the win is definitely between Claudia and the likes of Naz, but Naz yet again is trying to go for the undercut. Claudia is on worn out medium combat tires. We're on board with Washer on fresh mediums. right now, as now he's trying to chase down the likes of Ruby. And here comes Lily trying to get past the likes of Josh down the inside. Lily goes. Josh is still going to try and fight this one out, but Lily should get past the likes of Josh very easily because of the more grip she has compared to the one out of the hards from Josh's side. And Lily is up into 9th place, 2-lap medium compound tires that she's been running. She's going to make that 3 as DJ now comes into the pit to get on some sauce. That might be his last pit stop of the day, but it's going to be a very disappointing day for the likes of Percy E-Drive. If you haven't known, but they had a big collision at the start of this race, and that just forces Zai to retire out of this one, and DJ to lose so much positions. And unfortunately for him, his race is done. As now we're watching the likes of Washer, Emily having a great scrap, and Ruby is in the wall. I'm sorry, that's not Emily, that's actually Ruby and Washer having a fight, but Ruby has got sent into the wall, and now unfortunately for her, she's going to get overtaken by the likes of Emily. This is bringing Emily into play. Fresh videos on our boots, and now there goes Emily to the inside of Ruby. Ruby's going to try and find into her back, but out of that chicane, Emily had a great momentum shot out of that corner, and she's something to P8. Ruby can't do anything in her power to keep the lights of that Lamborghini behind, and now she's starting to drop positions. Oh dear, I feel like Motorsport have made a big mistake. They have made a big mistake here in Monaco. And Ruby, this is not what she needs on her card, especially when she's in this championship fight against 3 other drivers. It's not looking good for her and her team. And I feel like, I don't know if she's gonna pit. We already got like 9 laps left to go for this race. So, oh dear, it's not looking good for Ruby. Not looking good for her at all. But we're watching this fight between Emily, who I think just got past the likes of Maddie, and I think Emily is going to give Washer a little bit of pressure. This is the fight for P6, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, and Washer is under pressure by the likes of Emily. This is a fight for P6, and if Emily wants this podium, she needs to get past the likes of Washer, and we know how good Washer's defending is, but Emily's not wasting any time, as we go through the chicane, Emily is through. What a move from Emily. Washer's going to try and fight into her back, but can't do it, and Emily secured P6. Now, if you're boy King Rasta, you might be a little bit worried, let me tell you, because already Emily in 6th place. Next up on her cards is Lily. Can Emily get this podium done and dusted? That's the big question. I'm sure Wash is going to try and fight us to the end, but I don't think that Williams car have the pace against the Lamborghini. So maybe a Lamborghini, they're definitely taking a big step forward, especially for Emily. I mean, time and time again, every single race, Emily is just outperforming that Lamborghini car. It's just crazy to see. And as we see, Ruby, she has pitted for off the hards. Yeah, they have definitely made a big mistake. Same thing for Josh. Red Bull and Motorsport absolutely fouled their strategy there, and they got some work to do to try and get some points. I don't know if they're going to get some points at the end of this race, but yeah, it's not looking good for them, as King Razza the First is now at the back of Kaylin. My goodness, it's kicking off near the end of this race. We're seeing so many overtakes near the end, the second half of this race, which is incredible. We haven't seen much overtake at the start, but near the end, the second half of the race, we're seeing so many overtakes, as now King Razza is going to be fighting it out for the likes of P3. But however, Kaylin, she is definitely coming down on his rear wing. Is now under 1 second between the likes of King Razza and Emily. If you're King Razza, we need to get past the likes of Kaylin very quickly. But we know how good McLaren crew is, so it's not going to be easy for the likes of King Razza. But there is Emily. She is there. She is there. King Razza needs to get this move done in the chicane at least, but can't find a move there. He is behind still of Kaylin, and maybe Emily might be good for the move, and there she goes on board with King Razza. Emily's gonna send it down the inside into the chicane. Emily's through, and now she's gonna go for the move on on the line to Kaylin, and Emily got the move done. Into the last corner we go. Emily, P3 for her. Double overtake on both King Razza and Kaylin. Oh my goodness, what a drive this young lady is having today. And King Razza, he thought he got that P3, but unfortunately for him, that podium is definitely out of the window, as we're watching now Shay making a move on Fritton right now, and Shay getting that move done. Fritton down into P11, and it's not like Fritton's going to get overtaken by the likes of Josh as well, because Josh is also looking for the move for the likes of that position. P11, he's trying his hardest, Josh, to try and reclaim some position, but he's not looking good. As Ruby, she's in the points, so she managed to get into the points. Josh is going to try and make that move on the likes of Fritton, using the battery, using the ground with the mediums, and he's through in the chicane. And now he needs to try and get past the likes of Shay. Can the Season 1 champion do it? Let's see if he can as he heads through the last chicane. Coming up now into the final few corners. Turn 18 now. Coming up now into turn 19. Can he get the move done? Does he get the good exit out turn 19? DRS is now enabled for Josh, the Season 1 champion, going for points here. He's going to set it down the inside on the likes of Shay, but get hold up by the likes of Matty. Oh no, Josh is going to be absolutely furious with that. He can't do anything about that, and that possibly might be the only chance to try and get into the points pay position. Yeah, I think Josh is going to be fuming. I think Josh is going to be fuming with that Matty has got in his way, and that could be a great fight for the last points paying position, and that might be the fight over. But now we're on the final lap of the race. Claudia, surprisingly, got a 5-second penalty, so I don't know what the heck is going on there, but for Naz, she has absolutely dominated this race, and she's going to get 2 wins in a row. These balls are definitely on a different level, from strategy to pure race pace. Naz wins the Monaco Grand Prix. It's a great race from her. Claudia finishes second place, but is she going to finish in second? We'll have to find out, because she got a 5-second penalty to serve. As Emily's going to finish in third place. It is a podium finish for Emily. I don't know if it's her first or her second, but either way, it's another brilliant drive for Emily. As Kaylin, she is going to manage to hang on to P4. She's been on those hards for 10 laps. I think she put it for them on the last stint, but Kaylin just managed to keep Lily at bay for P4. But all around, Lamborghini had a brilliant race. King Razza, P6, Washer beat Maddie to the line for 7th, Ruby 9th, Josh 10th. My, what a great Monaco GP that was. As all the other drivers comes in to finish the race, and now we will look at the results. It is Naz taking another win, her 3rd win of this season. She is definitely showing her true form here in the latter part of season 5. Claudia, 2nd place, managed to hang on due to that 5-second penalty that's been added on. Emily in 3rd, then Kaylin, Lily, King Razza, Washer Maddie, Ruby, Josh B, Shay, Rose, Fritton, Terrace, Agent Soraya, Matty DJ, Brandon Al, and Ziza, your only retiree because of that big collision between him and his teammate Persia E-Drive. Got a lot to think about after that race, something they need to discuss before the next one. I believe that it's going to be in Canada. But this is your championship standards now, and it's Claudia still leading the way, but Naz is definitely started reducing that gap. They have a big gap now. They have a big gap between her and Kaylin. So Kaylin and Ruby, there's a little fight going on for P3, but Claudia and Naz, they're starting to pull away. As Washer, 5th place, Emily, King Razza, Josh, Rose, Zai, Lily, Maddie, Shay, Fritz and Soraya, Brandon Al, Terrace, Agents, DJ, and Matty, and now it's only Agent DJ and Matty who haven't scored yet. As your constructor standing is this: McLaren Chromes lead the way. Visa Bulls now in second place, got up ahead of Motorsport, who dropped down to P3. Ben Williams, Lambo Tralizone, McLaren Shadow, Red Bull Scherer, Lambo Neon, Persia E-Drive, and Alpine Reyes. And by the way, McLaren Shadow move up a place into P6. So there's a tight fight going on for between 6th and 7th. But that is how we conclude this episode. Thank you all for watching. I will see you again when we return in Canada. Bye bye and good night. And my Y is definitely looking very close between Claudia and Naz. We'll see you soon when FA returns.